Right then guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to teach you guys about the easiest way to get ahead in life, okay? The easiest way to have an instantly better life. And this is why it's so easy, because it's a forgotten art form that has always worked that no longer gets used by anybody. And that is just basic human behavior, just treating yourself with some respect. I mean, if you think back to movies that are movies that are based in like 1920s, for example, or any movie, like I'm right now off the top of my head, I'm thinking of The Mummy, right? And in The Mummy, there's a scene. Well, there's many scenes where they're in Egypt, but they're all dressed up nice. Everybody's conducting themselves well. Everyone's groomed themselves well. Everyone's wearing like tuxedos, and women are in beautiful dresses and stuff like that. We're in a society now where people are wearing their dressing gown. Well, I don't know what it is in America. I don't know what you call it in America, actually. But everyone's wearing their dressing gown to the shops. I saw two girls the other day wearing dressing gown and slippers to the shops. You know, most guys that I see are in hoodies and trainers. Everyone's just in playing video games all the time. Nobody's doing anything different. People don't groom themselves like they used to. They don't smell as good as they used to. Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't hold these things in value anymore. And the one thing that's really stood out to me the most is the zombie society versus confident body language. Like, I studied body language when I was 19 to about 21 for 2 years, got a diploma in it. It's a strange thing to get a diploma in, but I did it as an online course. That changed my life. Drastically changed my life, with women, with interviews, with success, with everything you could do. You know, with confronting people, aggressive men, something like that, like every situation, just walking around in public, like the way that you hold yourself. It changed my life in every single sense. And I see today, in today's society, I would describe it as a zombie society. I was coming back from a very long day out. It must have took me like 2 extra hours to get home because there was train cancellations or line cancellations. And I probably had about 7, 8 people nearly walk into me because they were on their phone. And I was like, what the hell have we created? What the hell is this like zombie-like society where everyone's just walking around like this, head down in the phone? What happened to pride? What happened to walking around with your chin parallel to the ground, head held high, shoulders back, confident body language, strutting? People now are like really scared to strut. They're really scared to like walk through an area, a crowded area, and have eyeballs on them. So much so now that if you do see a man maybe, dressed in like a long trench coat and he is like he's holding himself well and he's strutting through, or if a woman is like dressed in a certain way where it's like, Jesus, and we see this on TikTok as well. It's like, what happens when you start dressing well and walking through public? And people's reactions are like that. Nobody does it anymore. That's why. And that used to be very normal, where people used to make the best of themselves. And it's still normal in many different countries, but the UK, America, stuff like that, it's almost become celebrated to wear shitty clothes. It's almost become celebrated to look messy. It's almost become celebrated to, be within yourself. Just be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe. Like, what? One thing that really stands out to me is the mumble society. The mumble society is so weird. I really make an effort to pronunciate my words. Like, really make an effort. And I listen to a lot of blues. And if you listen to Sam Cooke live, I think he was singing Try a Little Tenderness. There's a speech he does beforehand to the crowd. Oh my God. It's like he's speaking a completely different language. The way that he's pronouncing his words, the way that he's, the way that they're rolling off the tongue, the way that he's chucking every word out. That's the only way I could say it. Like, similar to the way I said chuck, like everything's being like strongly chucked out of the mouth. It's so clear what he's saying. I struggle to understand people today. When I'm in public and I'm trying to ask people to do something, whatnot, I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, sorry, mate, I can't understand a word you're saying. Do you want to take your headphones out when you speak to me? Do you want to take those sunglasses off when you speak to me? Like, look me in the eye. I can't handle it. I don't know what's wrong with people that have like a headphone in, sunglasses on, and they'll be like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Get those sunglasses off, take that headphone out, stand and look at me in the eye and let's have a conversation. I've been calling people out on it for the last few years. You know, stuff like rudeness, stuff like not being able to have basic human communication skills. I'm like, who do you think you are? I don't care if you're shy as well. Like, look me in the eye, shake my hand with strength. Like, you've got to have those basic fundamentals. If you have that in today's era, guys, it will take you to the moon and back because nobody has it. And what was once expected is now celebrated. Okay, so if you went for a job interview, and I did a few years ago, went for a job interview in finance, and they said to me when I got the job, I was wildly underqualified. They said, we gave you the job because you're the only one we liked and respected, and you're the only one who showed up in a suit. And I laughed, and I was like, really? I was like, what did they wear? And they were like, oh, one guy showed up in a hoodie, one guy had just like a blazer and a t-shirt on. I was like, why are people not wearing suits and like a tie and like, is it like shining their shoes? He was like guys showing up in black trainers. Like, when did this happen? When did people think this was okay? I guess you could tie it into the fatherless generation, that there's no role models anymore that are saying, hang on a minute, son, like you can't fucking turn up like that. Well, you think you're going to get a job like that? Now, who knows? The next generation, it might be okay to turn up looking sloppy because the people hiring you are also sloppy. My guess would be the opposite, though. My guess would be the ones who become successful from this generation are the guys who are taking pride in themselves, the guys who are very, you know, outspoken, very vocal. They've got the old school values and they're going to rise to the top and everyone's going to work for them. So my guess would be if you are of that ilk, you're going to go up the trajectory a lot quicker. You're going to get respected by the person who is the decision maker that matters. You know, when you think about something like sales, a lot of money to be made in sales, especially high ticket. If you can't operate in a certain way, if you're not professional, if you're not quick with it, if you're not on it, if you're not sharp as a tack, and you know, you're not being efficient, you're not coming across over the phone as somebody who is, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, he's very professional. My whatever is in safe hands here. Maybe my job search, maybe my business, maybe my money, it's in safe hands here with this guy. If you can't communicate that, you're in serious trouble. Doesn't matter what you do, doesn't matter what industry, but especially something like sales. And I think it should be mandatory for everybody to do sales for a few years. I did it. I did about 3 years. I think everybody should do it for a short while. I think it really shows you how you come across as a person. It really does. I think if you don't get anything from it but a wage, that's what you'll get. It'll really show you who you are and what you need to improve and how you communicate with people. Because we don't buy and sell to trees. We don't buy and sell to floors. We don't buy and sell to chairs. We buy and sell to humans. That is the transaction of the world. You know, we don't sleep with walls. We don't have sex with lamps or cameras or tripods. Well, we do actually. Some people have sex with tripods. But yeah, you're having sex with a woman or a man if that's your thing. You have to communicate with that human being before they agree to do that. You want to have a family with that person. You have to show that you're somebody that they can live a life with, not just, I'm handsome, innit? I'm handsome. There's got to be something more. There's got to be some conversational skills. There's got to be a little bit of zest. There's got to be a little bit of spring in the step. There has to be some energy. There has to be some confidence. There has to be something. But everyone's so scared to walk down the street and have the whole world looking at them, like people's eyeballs on them and just saying, like, who's that person? Everyone wants to be anonymous. I don't want to be anonymous. I want to stand out. I want to be the outlier. You guys decide what you want to do.